Ocean waves are rolling free, 1, 2, 3. Turn into a sea creature and freeze. You've probably heard and even played a variation of this game before, although probably with no naval theme to it. So what sea creature came to your mind? A blue shark? A black shark? Maybe even a swordfish? Meanwhile, the engineers over at Pan Spatial clearly imagine things that don't belong in this world. Their designs don't obey reality. The only time they ever opened a physics textbook was when they slid it under a wobbly table so that they could invent something unique again. Which brings us to today's guest, penned by exactly that kind of designer. Meet the Nautilus submarine. As you can see, it's slightly different from its classmates. Instead of standard props, it runs water jets. And the usual rudder has been replaced with… No, you gotta be kidding. What's that? A tail? Just imagine, you're a diver enjoying the scenery. And then this shows up. A sea monster straight out of a Lovecraft story. Anyone would surface in a hurry. And if you're unlucky, belly up. Fortunately, piloting this sub is less terrifying than meeting it in the water. So let's take a closer look. The most important part of any warship is its weapons, and the Nautilus comes prepared. It has an open double missile slot. By default, it's fitted with the RUM-139 Swarmer, but you can swap that for any equivalent you prefer. Next up is a very interesting piece of kit, the unique Hexaset missile. Designed to soak enemy anti-air fire, and it actually does that job pretty well. Individual missile durability isn't huge, but the salvo launches 6 at once. Using it opens a wide window to push your other systems through. And the cherry on top, or more like a nuclear mushroom on the battlefield, is the SLB-3 ballistic missile. Yes, it's only one launcher, but it fires 2 missiles per salvo. The real perk is its semi-auto firing mode, which lets you engage multiple targets, or makes it much more likely you'll land hits on a single one. And that's not the end of this sea monster's surprises. If another sub lines you up for an easy snack and points its launcher tubes at you, don't panic. Pan Spatial installed 2 twin torpedo launchers for you too. Besides, one of the launchers is found aft. That means you can punish anyone who tries to get cute and slip in behind you. We've covered the theory. Now let's talk practice. The Nautilus is basically the submarine equivalent of a 10-in-1 shampoo. You can use it in a lot of different ways and try new tactics with it every time, assuming you manage to tame the monster. Here are 2 suggested approaches. First, the long-range, low-stress Nautilus. All you need is to get comfy, brew a T-gull. Sorry, I meant tea bag. But that seagull won't leave me alone. So, stock up on snacks and enjoy some relaxed gameplay in the first half of the battle. Send your ballistic missiles into the big boys, and occasionally toss other missiles at anyone foolish enough to challenge your greatness. For this style, we recommend the Meteorite missiles with underwater launch capability, or the shop option, the Mosquite. It can't launch underwater, but it's famous for brute forcing its way through AA. You can also consider the DF-31AG. It's a cluster missile with a minimum launch range, but we weren't planning on getting close anyway. And the cluster payload becomes a real headache for enemy AA. For torpedoes, the Type 12 is a great pick. These little guys have solid speed and a very fast reload. The launcher also fires 2 torps per salvo, which fits the Nautilus's tempo perfectly. The second playstyle is the complete opposite. No sitting on the edge of the map. We're going almost straight into the furnace. For this, you don't want missiles that can't launch underwater, because if you surface in the middle of the map, your next dive is going to be forced and permanent. For this approach, the Meteorite still works great, and so does the MDCN. In the torpedo slot, you'll want something with heavy alpha like the Mark 45 Astor or the Spearfish. Thinking those torps will feel too slow? Here's the second half of the plan. Park yourself directly under the enemy ship in what we'll call the super position. From there, you can unload your full salvo, while the target simply can't aim their grenade launchers to counter you or intercept torpedoes. Another bonus? When you fire from under the hull, your missiles will still hit even if the enemy tries to spoof them with decoys. Of course, there are downsides. At that distance, you can't fire ballistic missiles, which might be a deal-breaker for some. And tight contact attracts the wrong kind of attention. CSTP frigates or an upgraded Mogami will happily feed you torpedo soup. It's a risky tactic, but it's also a lot of fun. And if it stops working, you can always go back to the first plan: tea and snacks. Oh, one more thing. You're probably wondering where to get the Nautilus. Unfortunately, due to the screenwriter being a professional menace, we can't say a single word. Just wait for the Black Outpost event. That's it from us. Thanks for watching, Commanders. And remember, if you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss starts staring back.